Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Gamer Small Talk. We are back with the weekly podcast. The Albino Rhino here doing the introductions. And we are sorry we missed yesterday. Hope you guys all had a good Zombie Jesus Day yesterday. And we are back with. Oh, you should have seen me and Mooch going back in DMs. Like we were just like sending each other like these weird little memes and shit. It was funny.
Oh man, you going straight to the link fight. You going straight to hell for that one, man.
Yeah, he was. He's like, oh shit.
But anyway, there's a lot to talk about today. I guess. Well, I always like to jump into the other stuff when there's more people in here. But I would say that this Quantum Break stuff, right?
Okay.
I've seen some reviewers got their stuff out. We're giving early impressions and things like that. One of them said, "Hey, this thing is the Xbox is The Last of Us," which I do a double take because I thought The Last of Us was straight garbage. But a lot of people look at that as like an iconic game or whatever.
Yeah,
so that's high praise. You know what I mean? Microsoft getting their exclusive that's on that level or whatever. I mean, Tim, what exactly? Because I know this guy was getting attacked by Sony fans nonstop. But what did you?
Basically, he said he wasn't really directly comparing. He's just saying that he got the same type of feeling that he got for The Last of Us. Like the story is really that good, and it's like the Xbox now has its first, big, a single-player story-driven game, and he gave The Last of Us a 9.5. So for him to compare it, it's going to be a good. It looks like it's going to be really good. But he was being attacked, and also Daniel Rubino, I think his name is.
Yeah,
Daniel,
I think that's it. Yeah.
He compared it to Half-Life 2. Like he said that the game's straight up fun. So. You're getting and I've got numerous DMs from people that can't talk about it. I don't understand how these guys can, but the other guys.
Well, you can preview it or say, hey, it's good or whatever, but you can't actually put the review up, I believe, until the 1st or something like that. So, but you are allowed to, and you can even stream it, I guess, certain parts or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I think that.
But what I don't understand why the Sony fans giving them shit about it. Like what the? Like?
Because they don't want anything good to have Xbox to have anything good.
Hey, this console war is crazy, man.
You're talking about like people flip this shit on him, and being attacked, and it's a trend. Like anytime Xbox gets something good, you'll always see it, whether it's YouTube or it's an article. You have these these coward trolls who just basically go and they try to intimidate people. And like for that guy to say something, I bet he, people don't think twice when they're giving praise to Sony, but people do think twice when they do write something like that. And the guy is taking a whole bunch of shit, but the fact is, the game is like really fucking impressing a lot of people.
I saw the Xbox fans like tag team in there and stick up for the guy, though. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But this is what gaming is coming to be now. I mean, I don't get me wrong. We all quote unquote partake in this console war. I mean, if Sony game or whatever game it should be, NAC or whatever, got all 10s across the board, I'm not going to attack or leave anything negative to any set reviewer. You know what I mean? That's one man's opinion. Like. I think now, like I said, we're no longer gamers. Like we're just like honestly, that we like fuck that. Like I said today, no matter what your preferred platform may be, I was more of a Genesis guy than a Nintendo guy. But if the Nintendo had something, I'm going to play it. I think that's lost this generation. I really do, man.
Right. Well, maybe it's because we're older, but you see
You're right.
Like a lot of all of us have a PS4. These fucking doofuses, and they're older. They don't have an Xbox One, and they have no intention of getting an Xbox One, but they don't want Xbox One to be successful. They don't want it to have good games because they're jealous. And you're talking about a 35-year-old guy and with kids and stuff like that. Listen, at the end of the day, if a game is good, like The Last of Us, I actually like The Last of Us, I will play the game and I will get the system. I'm not going to fucking berate somebody because they like something and I can't have it. Yeah. It just goes to.
Do you think it's a money issue or something, or they can't afford to have?
I don't think it's a money issue. I just think these people just have straight hate. Like you said, anytime you see, just from now on, when you see something positive, on an article, whatever it is about Microsoft, always look at the comments. You'll always see these fucking trolls. I don't know if it's 5 demented guys with mental issues that make thousands of accounts. It's possible, because I know some weirdos on Twitter that basically are all getting banned and making new accounts. It could be those losers. But every time something positive comes up from Microsoft, these people come and they try to intimidate people. And, it's stupid. Like I see the things that are written to the guy. Like all the guys, he didn't even compare. He was just basically saying he was a Canadian outlet or something. But he basically said he had the same feeling that he had, and Xbox finally got its story-driven type game that Sony seems to always have. Xbox looks like they've gotten it, and these Sony fanboys just honestly, they just go look at the guy's Twitter. I mean, being attacked.
Tim, you say that now. Getting to the positive side of that, if Xbox has found that, is this something that we can all start to like? We've been speculating for years that Microsoft would jump into a relationship or acquire like a Remedy, right? So let's not use the words acquire because everybody just says they acquire. They're going to acquire everything. Is this something where if this is the deal and you really need Remedy for this masterpiece to work, is this just going to be a long-term deal with Quantum Break, are we hearing, or is this going to end up being something where they do finally acquire Remedy? I mean, personally, I don't think they would, because why take on all that overhead when you can just negotiate a deal and reap the benefits of...
They're so goddamn slow anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I would want them to be bought by another company like EA. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think Microsoft would let that happen. I mean, that's something now they have. Microsoft does have a trusted an investment with Remedy. So I don't think an EA remember when BioWare was in trouble? It's that they stepped in and bought them. Remedy's not in trouble, and I think if they ever were in trouble,
was they in trouble, or they just got a hostile takeover? Were they in trouble?
I don't know. I don't think.
Out, what did they have? They had Mass Effect.
but that was some kind of they had some kind of help or something. Some outside group had helped them or whatever. And then what happened was it included Bono or something from U2. It was some weird kind of situation with that. It was and then there was some kind of bomb because that came in with the pandemic developers as well. It was like a group thing. Like this guy owned all of them and under one umbrella, and then sold them because Pandemic was supposedly working on a Batman game that really was being costly, and they couldn't get the tech right, and it just really kind of sunk that studio, and I guess BioWare was part of that. So I mean, if you look at it, I doubt Microsoft would have spent $1 billion for that anyway, but not for nothing. It's not bad. Oh, did you guys see this? Iron Wolf tweeted out a picture of his footage from Quantum Break with IGN's same exact spot, and IGN's is really. See, I said that IGN takes really bad capture footage. I don't know what they're doing. They did this with that damn Epic Yarn, or what the hell was that damn game? Unravel.
Yeah.
Where their Xbox footage of that looked really
used
blurry.
Studio or something.
I don't know, man, but that looks bad. And then it looks completely different than what me and Wolf and people are seeing. So I don't know. It's just.
Or you trying to see the
is that
conspiracy
a capture issue? I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, it looks fucking. I mean, I just retweeted it, but yeah, I mean, is that that has to be that doesn't even look close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's bad.
Maybe they used I don't know, Upload Studio or something.
Yeah, but Upload Studio doesn't kill doesn't make everything look hazy and blurry. You know what I mean? Don't you guys remember when Battlefront 2 or when Star Wars Battlefront the beta came out? There was all those articles. It's blurry on Xbox One, and I'm sitting there playing it. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? You know what I mean? It wasn't blurry at all. It was just one specific feed was like that. So I'm not sure what the deal is. Maybe they need to get their settings right or something. But I think that the game looks gorgeous.
Just to ask them, what are you guys using to capture in your game? That's a good question. What are you guys using? You know what I mean? I don't know.
That looks like they're fucking using a fucking cell phone. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
BlackBerry.
I know that Iron has an Elgato, and I mean, I'm looking at this picture. It's just, do we have clarification if that's the Xbox One version on his?
His is, and so is theirs.
It really is a stark difference.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, I would retweet it on Craps or whatever. Just take a look at or go look at Iron Wolf. I am Iron Wolf at I am Wolf. Look at his page. I mean,
I retweeted that too. See, it's got like 34 retweets
It's-
or whatever. So
it's pretty bad.
yeah, it is. I don't. You know what?
These are just those times, don't you, that you scratch your head, and no one ever likes to say that we were right with biased media. But listen, you're sitting there, you're in the gaming media, right? Forget the opinion you have on this game. You're trying to send out a picture that gives the audience a realization of what's coming down the pipe, and you put something on it that has an Instagram filter from 1977. I don't understand why it has to. Come on, it looks deliberate.
I don't think it's. I just think that they just don't take pride in it. It's either that, or they don't take pride in it, or they just fucked up somehow in translation. And
the reason I say they
really bad.
But the reason I say it's deliberate, Tim, is they're quote unquote the #1 gaming media, place to go. If it is, you're supposed to put out the best product. So your shots shouldn't look like that, or your clips shouldn't look like that. I don't know. To me, they knew exactly what they were doing, because everything else that came out today was crystal.
Well, the Sony fanboys run with the clips or the screenshots from the IGN one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It is what it is. I think that it's stupid because having played the game, it doesn't look like their representation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean,
they're
I
trying
guess
to lie. They're trying.
Yeah.
They're desperate right now. They don't want this game to be good. It's so sad to watch, but from all accounts, the game, from what I've heard from people under NDA, I don't know how much we could talk about it, but it looks fucking unbelievable. It looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah, I think it is, and not only that, but it's got a brilliant story to it. I think finally Microsoft and the Xbox have this. I want to see the game.
You need it though.
Yeah, I want to see this game be successful. Again, it's not even cracked the top 100, and we're a week away from launch on Amazon. I think there's a lot riding on this game. A sequel and things like that. Like everybody that complains about Sunset Overdrive not getting a sequel. Well, here's your chance to get a game that's going to be great at launch, and you could set yourself up for sequels down the line or what have you. But you got to support the stuff. You know what I mean? If you're complaining about the same old thing, here's your chance to change that yourself. And talk is cheap, in my opinion. Either go out and buy the game, or don't bitch about getting the same old shit.
I think a lot of people again are buying this game digitally also.
Well, that's it. And I think we talked about this last week. Z, you nailed it right there. And we were talking the other day about Tim. You had mentioned it. You said that you thought the number was 25% or something like that. I think the number in the Microsoft camp, okay, us consumers for Xbox, it's a lot higher. We're buying a lot more digital. When you see like Uncharted 4 come out, okay, the week before May 10th, whatever it is, and you're like, oh my God, look at the Amazon charts. It's through the roof. No, we all know that nobody puts their credit card on the PSN network. And a lot of people like myself, I'm not in the mood to go buy the little scratch and sniff cards for PS Plus. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just go buy physical when it comes to the PlayStation, because it's literally easier to go to a brick and mortar than it is for me to order a card, get a code, put it in. I'm wondering if it's safe. You still got to put your credit card in there. It's just wacky shit with them. So you see a lot more physical sales popping through on the Sony side. I truly believe that, and that's why you didn't see the. Listen, you're probably going, okay, Mooch, where's your proof? My proof is Tomb Raider. Because when you looked at the sales of physical for Tomb Raider, the numbers were low, and then Aaron comes out right after right after January, and he's like, we sold over 1 million. You know what I mean? Like, so what I'm saying is there's a lot of people buying digital on Xbox, and it's not shown. The numbers aren't shown until Aaron makes a comment.
Right. Well, in this case too, you're getting only if you buy digital. I don't know. I mean, I know if you buy digital, you'll get the
Windows 10 version.
Windows 10 versions for free. So you're gonna get that. You're also gonna get the DLC and all the Alan Wake and Alan Wake American Nightmare. I don't know if that comes with the physical. I think it does, but
yeah, it does.
The digital is a growing. It's a growing. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is doing well in digital. That's why you can't make much assumptions until 2 months, or they usually have a statement after that. But I think it's going to do well. I just think that once this starts to really get in people's hands. And again, people, have to be cagey, even on this show, about what they can and can't say. Like when people can really go into it, I think that the word of mouth is going to sell this game. So I do see it to you look at Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider word of mouth 2 weeks after all Fallout and everything, it really picked up and they had a strong December. So I see this selling well at launch, and I see it selling for throughout the summer. It's going to be. It looks like
the game's going to have legs.
It's going to have legs. Yeah, it's going to be a great game.
The $300 bundle. It's and like I said, I guess this could you say maybe quote unquote a system seller. $300 would include the game. Like I said, it's going to be a great game. Remedy has a great track record of making great games. Max Payne. I don't even know 2 games that they made besides Max Payne 1, 2, and Alan Wake, and and I love all those games there. Was it a troll article? Was it a real article? They said Max Payne 1 and 2 and Alan Wake and Quantum Break was all tie-in or something. Is that true, or that was just some made-up bullshit? You read anything about that?
I don't know. I know there's some Easter eggs or something like Alan Wake. Alan Wake's Return, like the TV show, is in the Quantum Break. It's some kind of Easter egg or something like that. So I'm not sure about anything else like that. Man, I'm looking at the Amazon 100 right now. Damn, man, Sony's got shit on lock this generation. Holy crap!
I know. I'm noticing that too.
There ain't even any damage control in that shit. I mean, everything is PlayStation.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, look, you got the show. You got Dark Souls 3 at number 10. The show at number 7. The show at number 13. Why is there both? They have like
the PlayStation 2 version.
Two versions. No, they're both PS4. One of them's the collector's edition.
Oh, but the reason why again is because quote unquote this generation Sony's had to quote the better version of the multi-plat. So I guess we can segue into this article here.
Ratchet and Clank. Damn,
that comes out next month?
No, it comes out April 12th. Yeah.
Oh, well, next month. Yeah, next month.
Yeah. So a week after. It's going to be interesting, man, to see because Ratchet and Clank is in the top 25.
It's $40, right?
Yeah.
They had it in my local Walmart. I've seen some kids playing. It's a pretty game. For those of you that are into platformers or whatever, it's a very it's a nice looking game.
Yeah, the Division's still doing work for Microsoft, and it looks like Sony too. But it was nice to see at GameStop the other day they had the Division, the big poster that made it look like it was almost exclusive or whatever. So I was like, hey, that's cool. It's like exclusive Xbox One content. It's like exclusive and big gold letters, and it's like content.
How many? It's going to do over probably 1 million on both platforms for the month.
Oh, there's Quantum Break coming in. Just
36.
I have it as 47, but yeah.
I have it 36. I don't know. Maybe it's different from bestsellers. And I have 36.
I'll look at mine in a minute, but
35 actually right now.
Ooh.
It's moving.
It's moving. So what do you think about the rumors? You see the Wall Street Journal, something that we keep going back to. This rumor is not going anywhere. Now you got the Wall Street Journal running with it that Sony is indeed re-releasing a beefier version of their PlayStation 4 with more processing power to help the quote-unquote the PlayStation VR. Because they really invested into that thing also. But not that people don't say this, so people are just saying, it's not even about 4K. That the games will look better graphically on this device and machine. How do you guys feel about it?
Well, I mean, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Red Gaming Tech, just a quick one-liner here, who Z referred to, and I watched him too. He's got people that are also in the know that discuss things with him, and they said that it is going to go, whatever it is coming down the pipe, we don't know yet from Sony, whatever it will be, is going to be more than just 4K streaming of Netflix, because he said when comparing the games to vanilla PS4 versus the new one that comes out, it is, he goes, and he's quoted as saying it is quite noticeable. But here's the thing, I'm trying to make lemonade out of this, and crap, your avenue is awesome. I totally think you have a point to make here. But I will say this may be Microsoft's Trojan horse, because what Sony's doing, which they shouldn't, but they're doing, they're allowing for the doors to open up again, and you're allowing, if you're going to go ahead and put something special in your box, you're letting Microsoft open the box again And once Microsoft can go in there, I don't think they're going to make a mistake again. What's going to happen is this resolution thing, by the least of our worries, that's going to go away, because once you're allowed to open the box and start from scratch again, and we're basically getting new hardware, well, we're basically getting the next generation in a half. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think what they're doing here is kind of waking a sleeping giant. Sony should have kept their mouth shut, let the processing unit on the VR system speak for itself, and waited for next gen. Instead, they're jumping the gun, trying to get this stronger PS4.5 out there for the VR. And when you're doing that, now Microsoft's like, listen, they're like, Sony's changing things. Sony's making it so that we can make both games possible, whatever game comes out, for our vanilla system and our new system, and now we can beef up our box. They've kind of opened it up and woke a sleeping giant. So I think Sony's really effing up by doing this. They should have just kept their mouth shut. But crap, you have a good point of view too on this.
I just think that obviously I think it's rumors right now.
Yeah.
I'm not really 100% sold on this either way, but I think that some of this stuff, if people could flip out, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I will, because I only have like 8 PS4 games, so it doesn't really matter to me one way or the other. Same thing with Xbox. I want the games. Like, everybody's talking about hardware, and I'm like, where's the fucking games? Right. You know what I mean? Like, we've been scammed worse than any. Like, I don't know if you guys follow Z Huge. I know Tim does. He puts out these fucking these charts all the time. We've got the least amount of physical releases ever in the history of console gaming with this generation, right? And they want to sell us more expensive hardware. I mean, come on,
I think the reason why that is crap is because, again, they with this cross-gen development, with the PS3 and the 360, and like I said, we never experienced that before, that they're releasing, besides sports games, they're releasing games on both current gen and last generation consoles, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, even so, but it's like, damn, man, even the more known things aren't coming out, and then a lot of the known things like Assassin's Creed, they're not going to come out with one this year, and even the ones that I used to.
Jesus.
Well, I really look forward to that
every year. Okay.
Yeah, I have everyone, but even like, say, Call of Duty, those have got progressively worse. You know what I mean? So it's like, even the old standards that you had to fall back on are complete shit now. So it's like, you realistically, it says bare. I've been back on fucking 360. You know what I mean? I'm like just kicking it over there. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I can't express my disappointment enough with the actual game. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm excited for stuff like Uncharted 4 and Quantum Break. Obviously, I've been playing through that. I'm done with that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna replay it again. But outside of those things, and then obviously Gears 4, it's like it's gone from me really having a list of probably 10 or 15 must-have games every year to about like 4 or 5. You know what I mean? And that's kind of sad. It's like, I wish people, like, it seems to me like people are just suckers. They get thrown this new hardware bone, and we don't have any software to play on this hardware.
Well,
you know what I mean?
say like this. I think the argument can be made again with the reason why Call of Duty has not evolved or gotten better, because they have yet to upgrade the goddamn engine, because they're still making this shit for the PS3 and the 360. You know what I mean? And like I said, but even as far as to say, quote unquote, this new beefier PlayStation 4. And again, I don't see why people would get mad. There's nothing to get mad about. If you want it, buy it. Long as, like I said, they're not fragmenting the community. It's the same games. We can experience the same games as I and as you, and like I said.
I could see somebody, depending on the price. I mean, if they're going to come out with a quote better version for $50 more, come out and say something so that people don't waste their money now getting an inferior PS4.
They won't do that.
They won't.
I mean, again,
they don't care. You know what? In my opinion, with this whole thing, I understand where you're coming from, crap. And you know what? It's sound logic. It really is. But the wild card in this whole thing is the Sony VR, and I've said it time and time again that the PS4 is too underpowered for the type of experiences that they need to deliver for it to take off. And I think that they're worried about that too, and that's possibly why they're doing this. Now, while I tell everyone to just calm down, and let's not go crazy here, because what crap brings up is actually it is sound logic. This has never been done before. There is a chance that Sony could actually screw up a really good thing for themselves by segmenting the
That's why I'm happy Microsoft is quiet, because the Sony fanboys could turn on Sony at a fucking drop of a hat, and that would put the Xbox One in a really good position because you've got them advertising on point right now. Did you see the by the way ad? Little 30-second ad with Quantum Break. Oh, by the way, we're $2.99 now. We're the only place to play the top 10 best-selling 2015 games.
Yep.
The only place, you know what I mean? All in a 30-second ad. It's very easy. You can understand it. Boom. That's what people like to see. You know what I mean?
I don't think Sony can afford to come down to $2.99 right now. Not with all this hardware launching. I think they're.
Well, they don't need to be honest.
Well, they don't need to.
That's the thing. That's the thing is that they could play their cards and they could completely go with fucking. The lower end experience VR, and that's probably the safest bet. What they're doing is they're trying to hedge their bet basically, because they're worried, in my opinion, about the power, and that's why this is all coming up. Now we all agree that 4K media has to happen. We need 2.0.
Oh yeah, we get new boxes for that.
HDMI. That might be the extent of all this. It might, we might be very surprised. Or, I know that I went crazy and said, yeah, we're gonna get back this, but when you look at it, I don't understand how Xbox, just taking Xbox for example, is going to be able to manufacture this and have this out this year. And I don't know how Sony is going to have this manufactured, especially with the way people buy Sony PlayStations. That has to be created.
Hey Tim, let me ask you something real quick, okay? Because, and I'm with you a little bit, because from what I read on the Eurogamer article that made the most sense to me, they gave their take in the 3 most possible outcomes, one of which was this is going to help with VR games a little bit, to with frames per second, stuff like that, and that regular developers for regular games aren't going to be able to access this, right? That was one of the scenarios in there, and I could see that happening. But on the other hand, Sony has already said 37 million PS4 owners are VR ready. So are they going to come out with this new version and say, well, sure, you're VR ready, but you could be VR ready-er if you buy this version for for whatever $100. I mean, because at that point they're saying, hey, spend $1,000 to get a console VR experience.
VR right now seems to be the black box that nobody knows. We don't know what's going to be demanding, whether it's the PS4K or the vanilla. But what I'm saying, the one thing is that I'm seeing in multiple reports now, is it's not just highlighting the 4K Netflix, we're not just highlighting the superior power for the VR, but now we're talking about ultra high definition. They're talking about it being a graphical boost. When you're talking about graphical boost to everyday games, we are talking about some sort of high, clocking issue with the CPU or clocking issue with the GPU. Something is being upped in the box besides just VR potential and besides Netflix. So
what they could do is
too many reports.
See, the thing is that from what I read and from who I've talked to, you can shrink in time. What happens is the hardware becomes smaller, and you can shrink. Yeah. So what they could do is they could actually shrink it and add another. They could modify it. Now, if they do that, you're going to have more power, but it's not something where I can see you being able to play 4K.
I'll give you a little bit of an example, Tim. They did that. They overclock and shrunk the processor and stuff in the PS3 as well. The the later iterations actually are more stable and things like that. Same thing with the Xbox 360. You know what I mean? But the rest, you're not going to get really any more performance or anything out of that. Now, what happens if everybody's like, oh my god, PS4K or PS4.5? What happens if Sony's just like, whoa, this is just a PS4 Slim, guys, chill? Then I think game on, because people are just going to be like, holy shit, it's just going to be the Barbie doll with the new hat.
Right.
Be like, holy
shit. That's the safest thing, but you have to realize, though. See, that's the thing. What I tell, and I've told this to Xbox fans, that have been down or whatever. You have to look at the landscape of everything, okay? Xbox, for whatever you could say, whatever, you could say PC or UWP, you talk about that. The bottom line, though, is that they're for traditional gaming right now. They are they are head steam ahead with traditional gaming with you on your controller. Sony is now saying, okay, well, we got that. We have all these people that bought it when they love us, but we got to sell this Sony VR. So and this is what I told Xbox fans, where I see Sony going down the same route that Microsoft kind of did with Kinect. Yeah. And I see that being their focal point. That is their focus, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get Sony VR to at least a point where they're the number one headset, and they can produce the games that Oculus can produce.
And the only way to do, Tim, is to the PlayStation 4. Well, actually, the only way for the PSVR to be a hit is that it has to be adapted by the masses by third party, as far as multiplats. When you have to make certain mixed games, how many people are not going to keep spending $60 to play soccer robots? You know what I'm saying? That's going to fizzle out really quick. You're going to have the first early on adapters. You're going to buy it, bam, now what? You know what I mean? I'm not going to pay $60 again for Kinect Sports Rivals 2. I played the first one. Okay, it gets a little old and still at the while. For this thing here, and Sony really has doubled down on this whole VR thing. This new set hardware, you know what I mean? It has to be the case. Like I said again, and not without saying too much. Like I said, we all know somebody that knows somebody that's really know on this show here.
I keep asking the people I know, I'm like, what do you know?
Well, like I said, I know somebody. Like I said today, before this whole it broke on. Like I said, when you got the Wall Street Journal reporting this, we're not talking about IGN. We're not talking about Kotaku here. We're not talking about the Inquirer. You know what I mean? And again, it's not so much about what people. It's not about 4K. I'm not saying that this box will do 4K. No. And again, you don't need a higher resolution. Doesn't determine graphics. But if this new, I'm not even saying it's going to be called a PlayStation Triangle. This new device will have more processing power. You know what I mean? And your game, your God of War 4, whatever the case, it will look better running on this here new device. Now, maybe this may not appeal to you. Guess what? This device is not for you. You don't have to buy anything new.
Do you think that there'll be a game on VR that is only
I'm not even talking about VR.
Well, because that's what I'm saying. It's
not going. What I'm saying is not even the whole VR side of things. Like I said, they're not going to fragment the community. You know what I mean?
But my question to you is: do you think that every game that is going to come out on VR is going to be available for both, or will there be a game that can only be played capable with the PS4?
No, I think right now, until all of I think it's going to phase out the low-end models. You know what I mean? They're going to probably drop. What's the PS4 now? $300?
They probably drop $350.
Or they're going to probably drop it down to $300. You know what I mean? $275 to play out stock, and this one is going to be probably $400. It's going to replace what we had then. You know what I mean? Like I said again, as long as they don't, but as far as, like I said, VR still is not for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Again, multi-plats rule. That's the bottom line. Multi-plats rule. And if your multi-plats will look better here on this device, and if you choose, hey, what's the problem? I don't see who, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, me complaining about Samsung bringing in a new phone. I just bought the 6, literally. I just got the 6 3 months before the 7 came out. You know what I mean? I'm not fussing like it is what it is. I mean, technology forever moves forward. Like I said, as long as you don't have to buy certain games for it, you know what I mean, then I don't see an issue, not off the bat. Now, maybe 2 years from down the line, maybe you may need this. I don't think they're going to see that out first, in the beginning. But by then, you might hit your PlayStation 4 for 4 years. Like, if really that invested in the VR, you know what I mean, or is it worth for you upgrading your, quote unquote, to the new version of the PlayStation 4? I think that's few and far in between. You know what I mean? If you want to buy a new PlayStation 4, it will be to have the best looking version of these multi-plats, or if they're the exclusives. You know what I mean?
The other thing that they're not talking about, and it's too early yet because we're not going to hear this until probably E3 from both sides. But this is a general concern for a lot of people that were not just early adapters, because we're going into 3 years into the generation, but like someone like me, I have a PS4 and I have 2 Xbox Ones. Now, let's say the PS4.5 and the Xbox 1.5 literally are these new consoles that we all want to have. I'm really interested in finding out what Microsoft and Sony's answer is for trade-in, because, or what they're going to cut deals with the brick and mortar stores, because I want to go out and get these things, but I don't feel like spending $400. I'm not going to spend $1,200. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not. So are we going to get $200 for each of our old ones to trade back in? Or are we going to get $100?
You know what, Mucha, honestly, I think it's like this. I don't think people are going to really know probably how good they look until they're like same thing with these next generation consoles. You know, until you sit down, you know, play it, and you know, people still think that my 360 still looks good, and not until you have the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 in your house, and you're playing, you know, whatever on like that. This really looks better than the last generation. Like, you know, you know what I mean? And like I said, I don't think again this is going to be for everybody. You know, I think it's like it's for more. It's more of an option, a choice, and you know, the more choice, the better.
I got a question for everyone on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
So Sony, you're gonna go both Sony and both Microsoft. Will Microsoft have a new Xbox that?
Yes.
They'll have a slim. I don't think it's going to be any more powerful.
So you don't think that they're gonna have more power?
No, listen again. This is a business.
I do think that they might have something, but I don't think
they have to, though, Tim.
I don't think the time frame though makes sense for this year.
Well, here's the thing, Tim. We're just hearing about it now, right? We're just hearing about it now, right? Just saying it's starting to come up. When there's smoke, there's fire. When you got the Wall Street Journal talking about it, bro, like we're not talking about the Inquirer, the Star magazine here. But listen, there were in 2014 there was something that came loose that Microsoft again was going to release several SKUs of the Xbox One, a low end version, a middle end version, and a high end version. It's like this rumor is not new.
The reason why they stopped that stuff though was because people were having a hard time figuring out what was what. Like that's why you see less SKUs nowadays, right? Like there was a lot of blowback, and social media wasn't as prevalent then as it is now. But even with the Xbox 360, like the arcade one didn't have a hard drive. There was a lot of people that were confused by this.
I was confused about it.
A lot of people were. Hey, look! A lot of people are confused. Hey, look at the Wii U, man. This thing.
The Wii U sucked dick.
Yes, it did, but it didn't do itself any favors by naming itself the Wii U.
I'm not saying, but listen, those who buy games or whatever fuck you want a console, you know that the Wii U is a newer version. Whatever. We're not talking about 95-year-old grandpas and grandpas. If you're a gamer, you know what the fucking new console is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if how should I say this? They're going to most likely market these new consoles to their, the people that have their finger on the pulse, that wants the new tech and this, that, and the other. It's not going to appeal to everyone. You know what I mean? So if you don't buy it, or if you never or whatever, like if you can't afford it, why are you fussing at someone? You know what I mean? Like that's to me, that's what I understand.
I think that where crap argument comes is that he's just looking at it in a realistic way of who's going to buy it and how there is going to be confusion set into the marketplace.
There could be, yeah.
There could be major confusion with this.
Major? One is 300, one is 450.
But you said they're going to phase it out.
No, I'm just saying in the long run.
That's the thing. I don't know how they're going to, like...
In the long run, like I said...
If we do get it, let's just say, not to interrupt, but if we do get, let's just say Xbox, we get a new Xbox, okay, and it's 80% more powerful. Okay, now we get an exclusive. What does that mean for the game that... and we got Quantum Break 2 exclusive. It's 28. Okay. This is just all hypothetical. Now, my game, I want that Quantum Break 2 to take full advantage of the Xbox 1.5. And I don't give a shit about the old console. But you have to give a shit about that old console. So what does that mean? That they're going to make the game in 1080p for Xbox 1.5 and 720?
Listen, you got to look like this. First of all, we're talking about Microsoft here, right? When developers make games for PC, now both these consoles are x86, am I right or am I wrong? When they make games for PC, right? You take, not everyone has the same CPU. Not everyone has the same GPU, but we enjoy the same games. I don't know why people are so, when they just, it's confused when it comes down to a console.
Right, but the thing is that a console has to be able to, some PCs cannot play Division.
No, there's a set, listen.
There has to be, with the console, you have to be able to play every game, is my point.
Brett, listen, for those that are gaming on PCs are not trying to fucking play Call of Duty with a 3 Series card on the video.
Right, they can.
Exactly. So you have the minimum. So the minimum specs, look at the Division, right? There are some things you could turn up to make the game run, but some things you could turn down. Am I right or am I wrong? You know what I mean?
haven't seen
I guess
any
they'll
of that.
do.
What
No,
do you see?
you could take Shadow and you could take
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I mean, I just I never
No,
cared
not
what
on
they.
console. On those.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I mean. There's some things you can turn up to turn down to get
So
a better
you think they
performance.
would dumb down it for crap console, for crap gamers console, and they would up it for
The set, yeah. Well, it'll give you the option. You know what I mean? To here's the thing. I think when it comes to online competitive playing, everything will be like I said. I can play Gears of War 3 on my Xbox One. Is my Xbox One more powerful than my 360? Yes. So, but I'm not playing that game at a higher resolution or frame set than on my 360. I'm playing against my 360. We're all playing the game evenly.
It's hard. It's hard. Every week we sit here and we can't all be in the tech world that we all are in and know the people that we know and keep saying that it's really hard to fathom that in this time and day that they could have a disc come out in a year that is the same game that works on the original Xbox and the newer Xbox.
Yes.
Just, like it's insane. We have emulation through 360. We have backwards compatibility. Okay, we have the now we have family sharing being talked about. People are going to be buying back digital games. You can't have all this stuff and then say it's really hard for them to have an option or where it actually spins in the machine and it can read and it knows where it is. Software is much more intelligent than we can even put into words, and Microsoft is at the forefront. So to say that a box is going to come out later this year and it's not going to be able to, or we're going to have a hard time with like Quantum Break 2 or another example, it's not. It's just not.
Right.
So
they'll make it work somehow.
yeah, they'll make it work. So the question though is that, how are they going to do it? And that's the topic at hand. Here's what I first heard. When Xbox One was first coming out, the one thing people scratched their heads about were, they said, okay, fine, Xbox One went with DDR3, they didn't go with GDDR5. Okay, fine. But why did they use so little ES RAM? They should up the ES RAM, because if you up that, if they put 3x, 4x the ES RAM they have in there, as much as developers aren't thrilled with it, now they're getting the hand of it with the API. If they up that by 3 or 4x, that thing is turbo fast. It's much faster than anything that Sony's going to be able to put, and even in their PS4.
I don't know if that's possible though, Bush, because
I don't know.
It's embedded into the ESRAM is embedded into the chip. So I don't know. I do understand what you're saying. There's possibilities that they can definitely modify the APU and they can do things. And my opinion is, listen. If Phil didn't make those comments, we would probably all be saying Sony's is nuts and that they're gonna be segmented. But he did make those comments, and those comments are coming from somewhere that they're looking to. And listen, when you see what happens with every one of their games or their multi-plats get shit on because of a resolution, we can say it doesn't matter to us. But you look at that Amazon chart. It matters, and they need to. My opinion is that they're going to start moving the platform, and this is going to be the upgradable platform that Mooch had predicted, whatever, with the Swami. But that's actually happening. that's actually going to happen, and it's going to happen for both consoles. I think that we are there, but again. To throw caution into the wind, everything's not matching up as far as the time frame.
Yeah.
You really
we're just hearing about it now. I don't think it just started on this thing a month ago. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, that's because we're hearing about it now. I don't think this probably been on the drum board for 2 years now.
I think it's completely pointless to, at this point when you're like probably 15 million units behind, to go, oh, well, here's a more powerful one, guys. Our bad.
And, no. Again, I won't even say so much here's a more powerful one. But again, for those who care about that, how many people have jumped ship from the Xbox to the PlayStation because they can't get this?
But they're not going to come back.
No, listen. Shit. I mean, again, because they can't get 1080p.
I don't know anybody that jumps ship over 1080p.
Generation are going to own both consoles on the line. They're going to own
jump ship.
Plus, again, there's so many people that have upgraded.
I don't think that. I think people jump ship because Microsoft tried to make it so you couldn't own your games.
No. To me, it wasn't just the DRM. Because the DRM went away. The DRM never happened. It was the $500 goddamn price tag. And when that Call of Duty came out, that bitch was
it was a lot of it, but I don't know if it was.
It was that $500, and your biggest competitor was $400.
Yeah.
That's what did it.
But tell me this. Say Sony comes out and goes, okay, 450. We're gonna phase out the old PS4s. We got this new one. It's gonna be 1080p or whatever, and so they're gonna have a 450 console or possibly $500 console again. And Microsoft is like, hey, we're not doing too bad over here. We can play all the same games multiplats they can, but at $299. You know what I mean? I think they're sitting pretty because people might actually, like I said, I still think even though you don't see it, people could get pissed off at this.
Listen, again, people get pissed off. They bought the console already. The fuck, you're not gonna give me your money? All right, fine, this ain't for you. Go, what's again? You bought my console already. Who gives a fuck if you get mad? That's what you're not.
Well, you want to try and keep people as your.
They would have gotten mad if it was
already
just
invested
Microsoft.
in my ecosystem. So what? You're not gonna buy it because I'll offer someone else? Like, look what Phil told you. You're getting mad because someone else gets to play the game. You're getting mad because I'm offering another.
Which was never the case.
You're getting mad because I'm offering another device. Listen, that makes no.
Well, to be fair, they could eventually be, yeah, but that'd be like saying you bought a fucking, they're like, here's, yeah, I get you, right? Look, I don't care one way or the fucking other. Like, I can't explain this enough. People are like calling it the crap gamer. I don't care. Like, this doesn't affect me at all. Like, it doesn't. I own 8 PS4 games, right? I don't give a shit about the PS4. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using this as an example. As people that I know for a fact that this isn't going to be a big thing, right? And not only that, let's say that Microsoft does come out with something that they can do 1080p on everything. Still, the majority of the time, because there's 25 million Xbox Ones out there right now that are going to be under that. So all this is going to do is make that murkier for places like Digital Foundry that are going to have to fucking test games on 5 different platforms now.
Should they test games on 5 different GPUs?
Make them work. Fuck them.
Hey, crap! They test games on 5, 6 different GPUs.
But I think that the Xbox fans, again, we're all into this like power bullshit, right? And there's no fucking games.
Yeah.
Like it all comes down to the fucking games.
What do you mean? You gotta realize, though, crap. I think that you're downplaying the power a little. The power is definitely
very important.
It's important, dude.
Very important. That's why it is now.
If they don't listen, if you can take away the media saying 1080p, just social media and the media, the reporting media, you can draw a comparison, and Xbox can actually match Sony in power or resolution. That is going to help Microsoft. It might not fix all the problems, but you look at their online, you look at the way they're integrating the system, the way they're building everything, you look at the community, you look at everything with Xbox, and the only thing that they don't have is power.
Time heals wounds, guys. Okay, we've gone through 2.5.
Good point.
In my opinion, we've still got 2.5
yet, man. We got people.
We still have 2.5 to 3 years left of this generation.
Yeah, a guy can't even come out and say Quantum Break is good without getting attacked. Come on.
Well, that's because
you know what's crazy? Hey, not to cut you off, Mooch. One of the reasons that Quantum Break is being attacked is a motherfucker 720p.
That's what I was just gonna say. Because the minute someone says something good about Quantum Break, crap, they're like, "Oh, you mean the 720p game?"
Oh, they would attack it just because it's a good game. Dude, they're gonna always find something to complain about or to bitch about. If it wasn't that, it would be something else.
It'll be the live action thing, whatever.
I don't know, but the Microsoft's the thing that's been killing them this generation has been resolution.
But look, the reason why they're not winning the multi-plat wars isn't because of power. It's because everybody has a PS4 and not an Xbox One.
The reason people are buying their multi-plats on the PlayStation 4 is to get the better version of the goddamn game.
Yeah, but crap,
that's me. I'm talking about everyone else. We're Xbox fans. I'm talking about everyone else.
Yeah,
I know
but
Xbox.
Listen,
I know people that own consoles.
Of course they're going to sell more.
Listen, they even said it on on Ryan McCaffrey's show years ago when it first came out. They're like, can someone tell me why would I go out, even though Xbox and Sony are the same price right now? Why would I go out and buy a console that I know I can get the better version of it for the same amount of money on the other console? Crap, it's a hard argument. It's just hard to argue.
I think it's a hard sell, man. I think that, and I think it's kind of at the end of the day. Also, not only do I think it's a hard sell, but I think it could be a confusing sell as well.
It can be confusing.
And on top of that, it's like the games, man. We've written less than ever.
Sony has no games.
I realize that. Look, they've released 200 games physically this generation. It's the lowest amount of PlayStation games in any generation ever.
Right.
200 physically. according to Z Huge, is that's
Right.
piss fucking poor.
Here's the thing,
Right?
Cap. It's going to get worse because Sony put all their eggs in the VR basket.
Hey,
So I've said this.
look, and I'm not even just shitting on them. Microsoft is the same fucking way, and third parties. We're getting less and less and less, and now people are just like hardware. It's like they're dangling this other bullshit, and I'm over here looking at the games list, and I'm like, where's my fucking games, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like seriously,
Hey, I'm gonna say this: the tension has been.
Oh
on
shit!
everything.
These showstoppers! Give me a round of applause.
He's in here.
But thank
What's
you.
going
My
on,
public. What's happening, Chief?
He's in a bull. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I was sitting here saying that, this whole generation been about power. You know, that's what it's been about. You know, everybody, all they sit here and say, what was the biggest arguments we've been battling through the whole generation is resolution, and I guess Sony's supposed to be 50% more powerful than
Which
the
was
Xbox.
Which is
never true.
This generation hasn't been about the games. I mean, not the control.
It has not been about the games, though.
No.
It has not been about the games. It's been about power and resolution.
It's
And,
sad
you
that
know-
it's not about the games.
What we don't realize is that they sit here. That's the mirage because it takes away from what they are lacking, and all we really been getting was a bunch of multiplats. That's how we really been getting. That's it.
You know,
And and with deals, and I mean they give us a sprinkle of triple A, but they stretch it out with delays. You know what I'm saying? And it's just getting old, man. That's getting old.
Who would have thought we'd get a PS4 Slim before Uncharted? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's like to me, it's like
they could put that Slim out faster than that game, though. That's crazy, ain't it?
That is like to me, like the whole situation is just kind of ridiculous. It's like I don't know, and it's it's like, and it's not just that. Like I like the Xbox One, but I don't like it as much as I like the 360 in the first 2.5 years. It's just like
honestly, maybe because the 360 had the better version of the multiplats. I mean, again, Microsoft. I'll say this again: we cannot go back to talking about games until this resolution gap or whatever goes away. Now, once these consoles are on an even playing field,
it'll be something else.
No, there's nothing else to be. I'm honestly.
There is. There's a plot. There's always something, bro. It'll always be something.
Or even we're putting on on a level playing field, talking about as far as power or whatever the goddamn case is. Then we can go talking about the games. You know what I mean? And
There's two different things we're talking about. Z, you're right. Crap, you're right. Crap, you're right that the fact there will always be something else, but that something else once power is matched. Okay, at this point with Phil Spencer behind the helm, you've got him completely taking over games. We've got more games coming out, AAA exclusives, no doubt about it. Then once the power is the same, yes, will there be something else? I agree with you. Yes, it will. But it'll be pony arguments, not actual Associated Press arguments.
Well, here's the one thing about me though. I was always honest. I can't tell resolution differences. I don't care about resolution
Nobody
differences.
can.
I can't fucking, I don't care. Like I just want. That's why I'm saying I don't care about none of this. I just want the games. I want my Recore release date. Did you guys just see? I was just looking at the fucking Killer Instinct Season 3. That fucking looks on fire. Like that looks amazing. They just came out with the launch trailer for that. You know what I mean? I want the release dates from my games. I want, the Halo Wars 2 release dates. I want the Gears 4. I want to get into that fucking beta. I want to just play the games, man. I'm tired of talking about fucking hardware. I want to get into the software side of things, man. When's Horizon Zero Dawn coming out on PS4?
Never.
When's fucking I'm excited to get into Uncharted 4. I want the fucking games.
Hey,
did you guys the hardware?
Did you guys happen to see the thing that went viral the past weekend about Sad Ben Affleck?
Sad Affleck. I love that.
I'm going to be playing that to if Last of Us or not Last of Us, if Uncharted 4 gets anywhere in the 80s, I'll be playing that to Neil Druckmann's sad face.
Somebody should do that. Like, go take that song and then just take an interview with him and slow it down. So he looks sad.
I'll be doing it with the copyright graphic guy, Jay Williams. If you're listening, get the clips ready.
Dude, what was funny was when I first watched that, right, that Sad Affleck thing, I laughed for about 15 minutes.
So did I.
Like, I couldn't, I was like, who the hell thought to do that? You know what I mean? Like, and he does look kind of sad with it, but I guess, considering his movie made like $450 million over the weekend, that'll make you happy pretty quick. Who cares if people think you're shit when your movie made $450 million,
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, you guys
something
also
came out in Europe. You see this right here? I guess it's maybe Australia. The game in UK. So unfortunately, there's been a slight change to our pre-orders offer. Quantum Break is rated PG-16, but Alan Wake American Nightmare is rated PEG-18. That means we can't include it as a part of our offer, as it's rated higher than the game being sold. We're really sorry. Someone put the article up here from game.com.uk. To make it up, we'd like to offer you a code for Cameo Elements Power Epic for the Xbox 360, now playable on the Xbox One.
nice.
You can still get your hands on American Nightmare absolutely free if you visit us in something else. Is rather the article here. But
Yeah, it's due to the legal terms or whatever because the game is less rated.
higher, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's not a big. You can still get it. I guess they're just trying to make sure that kids. Although I don't see why American Nightmare would be rated 18 over there. That game was, I think that was only a T for teen over here. Yeah, I mean, that's just creepy.
It's scary as hell. That's why.
It's good though. Did you guys hear though that Sony's open to putting PlayStation VR on PC?
But you know what? And no backlash. And no backlash. But at the end of the day,
I think that's brilliant.
It's more money for them. But like I said, but who knows? Sony's losing their exclusives.
Exclusives are gone.
Yeah, like I said, that's what I'm talking about. The bullshit right there.
Sony's done.
Yeah, they losing but they turn it back on the console market generation. They want to get out of the console business.
They're also doing the cell phone deal. They have a new cell phone. They closed down Evolution Studios, who does Drive Club, right? Hey, how's that Forza killer, guys? Yeah. So they closed down Evolution Studios and then opened up a fucking handheld phone studio or whatever. You know what I mean? What happened to Showstopper? Did he lag out?
Maybe his phone went down. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of those guys get hired by Microsoft.
That's what I said. You know what Microsoft should have did? They should have took right back to fucking Twitter. I'm like, we're hiring. If any of you guys lost your studios, game job at Evolution Studios, did it right back to them.
I wouldn't be surprised. Put it this way, I wouldn't be surprised if they got hired. Yeah, I wanted to. What were you guys? You were just mentioning something that I wanted to say something on.
What we're talking about? VR coming to PC.
Oh no, it wasn't that.
Was it the rating system?
No, I don't know. I was just.
You were spacing out.
We were talking about Quantum Break.
Killer Instinct. You watched the new Killer Instinct trailer?
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, it looks damn good. No, it's the season 3 launch trailer, dude. Like,
I'm not gonna check it out right now.
Yeah, it's on Xbox. It's on the Xbox YouTube, but it talks about everything hits everything. Updated visuals, all the characters got gargoyles in it. Yeah, it's got the Arbiter.
It's gonna have RAM. It's gonna have General RAM.
They got leaked already on the Red Edit. Also, too, that you guys not hear about the rumor for you Call of Duty lovers. Shout out to Robert too. He sent me the link. Rumor that Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 2 backwards compatible for launch.
I heard that.
Listen, let me tell you something. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think that's a big deal because that's something that's a swift kick in the pants to Sony, right? So Sony's got the marketing deal with Call of Duty.
Again, are they getting it again? Or is that saying that they're getting it again, or?
Yeah, they'll get it again.
I think it's a 4 or 5 year deal they signed. But I'm saying, this is just a sure way for Microsoft to say, hey, now when you buy this year's Call of Duty, you get 2 of the classics you guys couldn't wait to play, basically for free, or everybody has them, or you can go get them for like.
Hey, they already confirmed that Activision is going to be showing off the new Call of Duty on Sony's E3. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's definitely. But I do think that it is a good thing because Microsoft is doing that. But the bad part would be they need to patch those fucking lobbies because they're full of infections, like hacks and shit. Like I remember that's why I stopped playing them because everybody was running the infection lobbies on Call of Duty and 4 and Modern Warfare 2.
I can't get with that shit. I don't like that Call of Duty, Lord.
Oh my gosh, Call of Duty 4 was like crack cocaine, man.
I mean, that's when I liked it. That's what I liked, Call of Duty 4, and then they got first popular in 360. After that, I just wasn't with it, man.
Well, you know, I feel bad because I'm so used to playing Call of Duty with my team and stuff, and now it's like we don't have that like go-to game where we can just play it for a couple hours at a time. It sucks. Like, I mean, we can play stuff like Smite or Gears here and there, but it's like without that like you know, that's like that takes a lot more concentration than Call of Duty or Halo. Like, you got to be really concentrated. Most of us just want to chill out after work and play like Call of Duty and, you know, joke around and shit, and you can do well and still do that. But the new Call of Duties are so bad. They're just, they're so bad.
Well, I heard that people were fucking taking the Chronos and they were using fucking keyboards. They were actually using keyboards on the console and mouse to play on console, like to play on Xbox. They use that Chronos. Wow. So it is a whole bunch of shit. I hope they ban that shit because, like you said, it sucks when you're playing somebody who has an advantage over you.
I remember I used to do that on Battlefield or Battlefront 2 on the PS2 because they used to have a keyboard and mouse. Like, you'd be walking around and you get fucking headshotted, like moving at a full stride or whatever, and there's no way you could do that shit with a goddamn PS2 controller. Yeah, get out of here. You know what I mean? You can usually tell. I mean, it's all right. Like, when I'm playing Killer Instinct or something online, I could tell when somebody's got a fight stick. You know what I mean? You just get your fucking ass kicked. You can't do anything about it. It's like you bend over and take it, man. You're hard 8 and you're in prison and you're taking it, you know? So,
8 times.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, but for the most part, like, you accept that. But when it comes to shooters and stuff, man, I hope they separate that because I do not want to be caught playing against, you know, keyboard and mouse. That would be terrible. Terrible idea, you know. But Halo Wars is finally backwards compatible for everybody.
Yes. So. Yeah. Halo is that the RTS type?
Yeah, that's the RTS.
Hey, keep that shit.
They are actually rolling out the backwards compatible games at a nice little clip now. If they keep this coming out, like, you know, every 3-4 weeks you get 3 games, kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Like I said, they got to pull the goddamn plug on a 360. Though they have to. They got to stop it.
They're not making any more games. I don't think they made a game.
I'm just talking about what far as, like, you know, with support with gold giving them games.
Are they still manufacturing the 360? I think.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Who would have thought that the PS4 PS3 stopped manufacturing, right?
No, I think they're still making PS3s, but I don't know. I don't know if they're making a lot of them.
Well, we use stop in their production.
That was the rumor. You know, that they supposed to cease production on that.
Hey, thank God those controllers turned out to be fake. Woo!
Shit, Jesus Christ. Hey, listen, like I said, Nintendo giving them. I won't put that in past, man. You know, for me to buy one again, I know it's going to be more. It's not even about the power. They have to have third party on board because I don't care. I'm not going to spend $400 or $500 to play Mario, and I need a basic online. I want to talk to my friends, and I need game invites, mandatory for
2016 out of nowhere got real expensive for people, right? I mean, we're talking about upgrades on possible. I know crap's not, but I mean upgrades on PS4, upgrades on Xbox Ones, and X coming out. I mean, this year went from, like, you know, maybe buying 3 games
and VR.
It is so true. It's so true. This fucking generation got flipped on its head and then flipped on its head again and again.
Hey, do you want to hear something funny, right? Like Mooch, whatever he spent on his PS4, right? I think he owns one fucking game. Yeah, he might end up with 2 fucking PS4s for 2 games.
No, not 2. I'm bringing that shit in. No, I'm going to put a gold bow on it and shove it up fucking GameStop's ass and get $200 credit.
Yeah, but you still would have bought 2 PS4s for fucking 2 games, basically, dude. It's like they built you. Either way, they get, like, might as well be like $900.
Every time I go to Cheesecake Factory, I buy that fucking $12 slice of cheesecake. I get 1 bite and I'm like, I fucking hate this. Listen, I can't say it's the first time I throw money away. But, you know, hopefully, what I like to look for is, and that's why I was asking last week with the Wii U, I'll ask it again here. I'm really keeping my ear to the ground with this. With the 2 Xbox Ones, I just bought the one in June for the one with the 1 terabyte. Okay, it wasn't the Elite one, but it was the 1 terabyte one. So that one I would leave alone. The one that's my day one, because it's a 500 gig, and if, let's just call a spade, it's 2.5 years old. If the Xbox 1.5 comes out, I would be more interested in trading in that one and getting myself a Slim. But as far as the PS4, yeah, I probably would upgrade it if and only if There will be no VR in my house. I don't have any interest in it. It's not my thing. I don't care. I don't want Oculus.
VR confirmed coming to Mooch's house.
Right, correct.
Just like Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, Dark Souls, by the way, crap, that is one of the awful analogies you've ever made on Twitter. Dark Souls 3 is not something you can just relate to a PlayStation system. Otherwise,
you get Dark Souls, Mooch?
Well, I'm thinking about it, but that means Grand Theft Auto is not available to any of us. That means that, all these games were only on PlayStation at one point or another. But what I'm saying is that Dark Souls is interesting to me. Well, here's my thing. Not the game itself. I don't even know what the story's about. I could give two shits. But what I found intriguing was, as I'm online more and talking to more people on Xbox Live, okay, people, look at everyone's achievements and stuff. I did go and beat Ori, and now I'm going through and beating the definitive edition again, trying to really 100% it. I can't 100%
on easy.
I know. I keep it on whatever the normal difficulty is. Oh. So I go through and I'm just doing. But a lot of people say, Mooch, I don't know how you're doing that. I can't beat that fucking game. So Dark Souls is one of the only games that people say is an actual it's a challenge. So I kind of wanted to try it for the challenge sake, not because I wanted to play 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. It's just that I wanted to actually just see if because people have been saying it's one of the hardest games to play, and I said, well, when Xbox gave Dark Souls away on backwards compatibility and 360, I grabbed it years ago on 360, and I said, okay, with the games with gold, and I put it in, and I said, wait a minute, I can't play this game. It's not that it's even hard. On the 360, it's moving like at a snail's pace. The character moves 1/1000th of a second, like one step. It takes like an hour for them to get halfway through the board. Yeah. So I said, I can't. It's just too old.
I'm not into those dungeons.
It's so old and dated. So I said, let me check it out. I've been watching something. I put one tweet out, and all of a sudden, I'm hired it from software. I just said, I'm wondering if this is any good. And then I saw a lot of Xbox guys that we all know and like are streaming. They
you should have just got Bloodborne, dude. Played it on PS4, bro.
I'm not playing Bloodborne. First of all, Bloodborne is a half-assed Dark Souls.
Same game, ain't it? Well, that's same.
Basically.
It's basically, but it's the half-ass. Well, same thing like Lords of the Fallen. Lords of the Fallen is free right now, and people will write me, Mooch, just play that one. That's another half-ass version of Dark Souls. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna play it, I don't want to play Ori and the Knucklehead, mall experience. I want to play fucking Ori. You got
Quantum Break coming out, man. You got Quantum Break coming out.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm not going to grab it day one.
You're gonna love that. Everybody is.
And we got that. You got Ratchet.
You got the Ratchet and Clank. I'm not buying. Listen, $40. I said this 100 times. When Sony has the goal to put something for $40, it can't be good. They still have The Last of Us for $50, and
that game's 1080p 60. What do you think it's going to be under the new PS4, bro? 1080p here and 60 here.
4K 120.
Particle effects.
But it is what it is. I think that. I forgot what was the initial thing before the Dark Souls things came up? I don't remember.
We were talking about how Mooch likes to toss salads.
About the Quantum Break, we were talking about 720. People actually are very confused to what's going on. It is actually outputting at a 1080p frame. It is actually outputting. What they're doing is they're taking the 720p image of a still image, and they are taking the previous 4 images, and they are adding it to that image, reconstructing it, so it has a 1080p output. So when people say that it's 720p, it is right in one aspect that it is 720p, but they're not talking about what it's actually outputting. It's actually outputting 1080p, and you're not going to get the same things that you're going to get with a standard 720p game. You're going to have much better. It's going to be clearer. You're not going to have the upscale because there's no upscaling with what Quantum Break is doing. They also are using 4MSAA, which is anti-aliasing. Basically smooths out the edges and stuff. So there is a little misconception of what's going on. The game is actually doing something that in the future we might see for 4K. You might see the reconstruction of a 1080p frame, just like what Quantum Break is, and doing it for 4K, because you can actually output at 4K with this reconstruction type method that they're using. So when people say that's Quantum Break 720p, this and that, you don't have to worry. The game is looking amazing. I know firsthand that from many people that it does not look like a standard 720p game.
Yeah, it looks great. It does. It looks fantastic. Did you guys hear that Epic Games worked on Gears 4 for 6 months before they sold it to Microsoft?
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh,
yeah. It came out in Game Informer that they were working on Gears of War 4 for 6 months prior to selling the IP to Microsoft, and apparently Rod Ferguson was working on it too before he left or whatever, Epic Games or what have you, because I guess they hit a stalemate. So they did keep some of the stuff that was originally there, like it was going to be set in the future based with Marcus Phoenix's son. So they kept some of the ideas and stuff, and so I guess some of the what have you. So I guess that's probably part of the reason why we get the game a bit earlier. But it does also look like another developer is helping do the multiplayer to that, which is confirmed to be 5 vs 5, which is Splash Damage, I believe. Yeah. They're the ones that did the multiplayer in Gears Ultimate, so it's going to be set. Yeah, it's going to be pretty damn good. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited for this.
I like how the new knife, the stabbing, that's kind of slick there.
Yeah, I mean it looks brilliant. I'm really excited to see how it plays. The April 18th for people that play Gears Ultimate.
For the Xbox. We got Quantum Break. We got Killer Instinct Season 3, and the beta for Gears of War 4.
And the Fable Legends beta. Oh, too soon.
Shit.
Too soon, sorry.
The gloves are off.
Oh, you guys should play that, though, if you're in it, because I think that beta goes down very shortly. I think sometime
April 5th.
April 5th. Yeah. Are we allowed to share any of that gameplay footage?
I don't know why.
Nope. It still has your name on it.
Jesus Christ! They should just take it off.
They should open it up for everybody, and fucking send that bitch over to Kickstarter or something.
I really just think that Phil was pissed off at the game. I just think he was just like, this is not gonna do well. And I mean, if the game came out, what was gonna happen with that game? People would say it was beautiful. But
it was beautiful. That's no denying.
It would not have reviewed well. I'll tell you that. There was a lot of things that were not.
They tried to change it mid development and they were gonna go that 1v4 thing, but then if you noticed, Evolve and shit, that fad went out quickly.
That was like I said before, that was the worst part of the goddamn game. That you be the bad guy. They should, if they weren't gonna do that the 4 people open, that was cool. But take out that bad guy control, that shit there was just fucking stupid. Or they could have did that. Or they could have did a 4-person open co-op, whatever. But give it a story. You know what I mean? Give it a story.
They could have made it just like an MMO co-op. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that would have been fine.
Like Dragon Age was or something like that. Still give it a co-op. Give it a fucking story. Take out that fucking one bad guy. And, you controlling the goddamn enemies. That was fucking stupid. And the game would have been fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Write the story. They didn't decide to fucking throw the baby in the fucking water out. But you know what I mean? But it was done is done, man. What's fucking's done is done.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, but I think that at the end of the day, they did pretty much what they had to do. Watch Dogs 2 announced as well, confirmed. I did a video on this because it's gonna do DirectX 12, which means.
What does that mean? It's gonna be 720p.
Somebody messaged me. They're like, so 720p. I don't know. It's interesting. I would expect it. That just means that they're optimized better because the first Watch Dogs was held back by last-gen versions. And
I think the first Watch Dogs are going to ruin it for this game has to be really, really, really special because let's be honest, that it had flashes of brilliance, but that game was no good, man.
Well, I didn't like the main character was kind of boring, and I don't know, it was like.
What the fuck was that club he had? I don't know what the fuck was going on with that game, man.
Yeah, but hey, what did you guys think about that? Did you see the new NX rumors? Right.
What's that?
That more powerful than the PS4, just a regular
kind of rumor though. That's a given though. I mean, it's newer technology.
Well, I mean, look, it's Nintendo.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, let's be honest. We're talking about a 9th generation console. I mean, the Wii U was more powerful than the PS3 and the 360. I mean. I just give Nintendo more benefit of the doubt. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. The 360 was Nintendo has to bring it this console. I don't give a fuck how they cannot afford another fucking dud, another fucking gimmick. You know what I mean? They can't. I just hope if they're listening, they could give us a powerful goddamn console with a traditional controller. If you want to do anything extra, make it as an extra peripheral. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Anything
you're still not
going
to like it though, because their main selling point's still going to be Zelda, Mario, and Smash Brothers.
But listen, what's that really going to do for you at the end of the day? Your hardcore are going to buy it, but it got to be adapted by everyone else besides Nintendo fans. You know what I mean?
I'm going to buy it. I wasn't going to buy it if that was the controller that we saw earlier. I wasn't going to buy it, but
we got to wait to see what that controller is, though. We still don't know.
Yeah, well, the newest thing says it's just like a standard controller that's got like some little nub things on there or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, like just use the fucking Pro controller. Like, damn, Nintendo.
All we have to do. You know what? I'm gonna say this before you finish. One of the big things Nintendo has going. I'm saying the big thing. One of the things that have been going against them as far as their console. Every console that comes out, they change the goddamn controller. Look at the PlayStation. Why it's so popular since the PlayStation 1 to the 4. It's been basically the same controller with little improvements along the way. With the Wii to the Wii U to the fucking Nintendo 64 to the game, everything has been a different goddamn controller along the way, man. You know what I mean? Like every console that they learn a new controller fucking with Nintendo, man. I think that's have worked against them. All they need is the Wii U Pro controller. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I mean? Anything extra, selling in the box is an extra review.
I agree. What do you guys think about the games with gold, man? Really stepping it up?
Oh yeah, I mean, again, what they gave us, what's that? Wolf Amongst Us. What else they gave us?
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive.
I have it already. I mean, and that's good for those, or they're just not getting their fucking console though. That's a good goddamn game.
They do it a good month. Think of this: you could get the $2.99 Quantum Break bundle, right?
Yes.
And then you could get gold for the $1 for the first month, and then you got access to Sunset Overdrive, Wolf Among Us, Dead Space, and Saints Row 4. That's fucking phenomenal. Put another $5 down for the month, and you get EA access. So for fucking $310, you end up with like fucking 20 games or something. You know what I mean? That's a phenomenal. Yeah, that's a phenomenal.
A lot of people don't know that, though. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I have trouble explaining EA access to my friends for some reason. I keep trying to explain to them what it is, but they don't fucking grasp it. Like, this is what I tell you. And these are gaming people. They don't go to, like, forums, and they aren't on M4G or NeoGAF. They're just my friends that game, you know what I mean? They buy Xbox because it's, the Xbox, you know what I mean? They don't really know anything about resolution or anything like that. They're like, hey, let's pick up Call of Duty or Battlefront. I'm trying to explain to them, hey, get EA access because then you can play, Madden every year or Battlefield, or you get a free trial of all these games and a disc, and they're like, "What's that?" You know what I mean? Like I said, I was trying to explain to my friends, make sure you get Sunset Overdrive when it comes up for free. What's that? I'm like, it's like probably the best Xbox One exclusive. You know what I mean? People don't know what this shit is. It's like, really? I'm still blown away that people don't understand this. It's sad. It's like their best game. And people don't know what the hell it is, outside of the vocal minority. Hey, don't you all jump in and leave me high and dry here, Mooch? What the fuck are you doing?
What am I doing right now? I'm talking to the 5 trolls in the chat that nonstop for. I like how they have all these comments. They have comments about you, me, Zaire, Tim. Yeah. They keep wrecking us all. Meanwhile, these are the guys that literally wait by their phone on Twitter to find out we even moved Bgst a day over so they can cancel their fucking flight plans to come in here and be like, Mooch, you don't know shit. Meanwhile, they spell shit and Mooch wrong.
Yeah. Megazzo, what was that guy?
Megazzo.
He's the worst. That guy fucking sets up a tailgate party before BGST.
He does.
He really does. He has a fucking tailgate party going before BGST. The guy's always here on the dime, always at the dot. He's always here, and he stays the whole show. He even stays after the show.
He does.
I've never seen anybody like it.
Hey, listen, man. Every show, man, he has his BGS T-shirt on. Let's go. He's ready to troll. That's dedication.
Literally, Tim, that's a good analogy. He's the guy that's at the game like an hour and a half before they even open the parking lot. Yeah. And he's still there fucking eating that sausage and pepper sandwich with there's fucking garbage all over the goddamn
Hey, yo.
The people sweeping around. Sweeping around.
No, he's even fortunate to have a segment of the show dedicated to him every week, man.
Hey, don't you guys remember his lists? Like, this is the guy that used to fucking do the list, and it was like,
Godzilla was on his list.
Godzilla, Tropico, that some what was it? Some fucking
Gundam
motorcycle game.
Games
for
together with
um,
Tales of Hysteria. Just
Yeah. Hey,
Dragon
not only
Quest
that,
16.
not only that, he would
Nobody
also
bought the games he listed.
he also kept saying, wait till then, crap. They're going to announce games that are going to come out this year. He kept doing that for every event.
Wait,
Never happened. Never fucking happened.
He had a big fucking scrambled egg on his face outside.
Yeah, like to be honest with you, I'm surprised we heard from this dude. Although it's not as bad as the dude that told me he was going to kill me before the next podcast. And then, but like once you say that, you can't like come back and talk shit on Twitter anymore. Like I thought Amazio was done because he's like, wait till E3, they're going to announce a bunch of games coming out this year. Oh, some dude on Twitter, man. It was funny. I was retweeting him. He's like, "Aren't you gonna
kill you for what?"
I think because I talked bad about the PS4. Fucking I know, dude. Yeah, this was like about three weeks ago or so.
You said the last show. This is gonna be the last show. Enjoy it.
I was retweeting it and shit. Like I was like, that's fine, dude. Bring it.
Damn, over a console, over DC. Like, people really take this console shit to heart, man.
They do, man. They take it much more seriously than I do. It's just
well,
funny.
I'll tell you one thing I've noticed: these DC fucking Marvel fanboys. Have you seen that shit? Oh,
yeah.
I thought
I
console
haven't seen the
wars
movie yet.
was
I'm
bad.
gonna hopefully go see it tomorrow. I haven't seen the movie yet. I heard it was great and I heard it was bad. I don't know. I'm gonna go check it out tomorrow though. Have you guys seen it?
No,
I haven't seen it.
I just seen the fighting. All of it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that I got from that, right? Critics, you guys think that critics, and there's no such thing as biased reviewers. It's not just video games. Here's the thing. You got a bunch of critics that are probably Marvel fans for the most part, or critics that hate the fact that superhero movies are so popular now. Everybody keeps predicting when this superhero fad or whatever die down. Yeah, I don't think so either. There's so much source material. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
The other variable though, crap, is just like we always said. If Microsoft does something, it's immediately bashed. Poor guy, Ben Affleck, dude. Literally, you put Ben Affleck, it's already right. It's already a 2 out of 10. Listen, Argo didn't get the quality and the respect it was until that film festival where a bunch of Europeans said it was one of the best things they've ever seen. Then the Actors Guild over here had to give credit. Like, poor Ben Affleck, don't get me wrong, he's done some bad things like Jay Lee or whatever the hell, GG or whatever the hell he was in with J-Lo. He did some bad movies, but he started off good with Matt Damon. He made a couple of these.
They had a movie film company together.
Hey, Tim Franklin or Tim Franken in the comment section says, "Mooch, if you were a woman, he'd do you." So I guess that's
must be a Sony fanboy.
Keep the flattery coming, people. Right?
It must be I can't even fucking say that.
Maggiazzo.
It's his. They were going to do a double team.
He's the only person who can take an Italian name.
It's going to be an Eiffel Tower.
He takes an Italian sounding name and smashes it with a fucking Japanese name.
They're gonna Eiffel Tower Mooch, man. They like you. Those are those Mooch maniacs, dude. They're crazy. I get messages. They're like, what's Mooch's gamer tag? What's Mooch like?
What's Mooch maniacs?
Yeah. What the hell is Mooch gamer tag? I don't even fucking know.
I'm on your friends list.
I know, but I don't fucking know.
I'll tell you afterwards. And then let Omeghiazzo do some fucking detective work. Yeah. I'm not gonna give it out. Let him put his fucking crime hat on and figure it out.
Those guys will pay fucking private investigators to get it.
Oh man, listen.
That's how pathetic they are. They really
No. Listen, let me tell you this. That's why I said before. You think I was just saying that I have 2 profiles. I got one that's for the public and one I just fucking do to myself. Because some of these motherfuckers are weird. I ain't lying, man. Some of the shit I get, man. But it is what it is, man. I guess it's the gift and the curse. And we're not even fucking public figures, man. The shit we go. Like I said, that's why I don't really bother nobody on Twitter. Look at the shit we get, and we're fucking nobody. I can imagine what Phil and Aaron and all those fucking guys get. Like, you know what I mean? I can
they probably get weirdos saying, hey, they're going to cancel their pre-orders for Quantum Break.
Oh, why? Because someone else gets to play the game, crap?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what a scumbag to say that.
Yeah. Shit. Like, oh my God. But listen, before we get the hell out of here, did you hear about Microsoft looking to buy Yahoo?
Yeah, what is that about?
I did see that, 10 billion or something, right?
Damn, 10 billion?
Yeah.
What would they do with that? What would they just take?
I guess they get rid of Edge. Well, they make money off that shit. The search engine, people still use Yahoo as a search engine.
Yeah, they use it more than Bing, so.
Yeah. Oh, what else is Edge? You know what I mean? Look, my wife fucking still uses AOL. You got mail. What the fuck are you doing with an AOL email address? Like, the fuck is that? But I guess with damn 10 billion, I mean, it makes.
Hey, Omazio, Tim Dog isn't isn't a Phil Dickstucker. He's a shoe shiner. Get it right. hey, Tim, have you ever seen that fucking that picture? Yes. Like I laugh at them sometimes, like when they're not gross ones or whatever. Funny, yeah, like.
Oh yeah, usually I keep them sometimes for the video. Use them as the thumbnails.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of them about me, but that was the only one of Tim's that was like halfway decent. Like it was like I can get my shoe shine kid or something like that. I must have laughed for like 5 minutes at that or whatever. Yeah, Mooch is the only one. Yeah, Mooch is the only one that doesn't get any shit because he doesn't have any.
He's in the mafia.
Yeah, he's like
he has to keep.
This is the only thing I could do in witness protection that would let me fucking people on the outside. You got Sammy the Bull fucking pulling lettuce and cucumbers tomorrow. In that fucking garden back here.
But Omagazio is gonna fucking wake up with a horse head in his fucking bed tomorrow.
No, he fuck that part. I'm fucking wake up with a pony next to him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mosey was like 47 years old, man. Fucking rides a pony
really?
to work. Yeah, he's like 52 or some shit, man.
Are you serious? That dude acts like I thought he was like 12.
No, man, it's like
I thought he was 12.
Yeah, he's like 52 years old. Got arrested for punching his balls in public or some wild shit.
Oh jeez, holy crap!
The guy that was like the guys that were attacking this one guy that was saying that he had like Quantum Break. The one guy I thought was fucking 18 years old. Somebody's telling me he's 36 years old. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I told you this console shit is wild, man. I said when shit like that happens, they give all gamers a black eye, man. You know, at the end of the day, man, like, god damn, man, play what you like, man. But is there anything else we want to add? We can get the hell out of here.
I think that's about it. That's we covered almost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Console.
Oh my god, I can't. How the fuck do you say this stupid motherfucker? Oh man. You go fuck yourself, oh my god.
Amazio.
There we go fuck yourself.
Oh, Amaziago.
Hey, I will give Amazio one bit of credit. He doesn't do like the full on like weird shit like personal.
He's
all right. He's a big fan. He's a huge fan. I mean,
he don't do the weird shit. That's what I told Mooch. He won't cross the line with the weirdo shit. But
like some of those motherfuckers are like they cross the line. They're like, man, they'll
call you up on if they get your phone number, they'll call you. They'll call you up to be like, hi crap.
No. Hey, Tim, wait.
You're an Xbox fanboy.
Hey, listen. Were you in Bang Bang? I don't know if you had got in Bang Bang yet. I think when I just made the fucking group, and I had a guy, do a live stream, like 3 in the morning, put a fucking mop on his head, had a fucking 360 in his lap, sat that bit. He was naked from the waist below, like that shit. All you see his parents running in with a fucking blanket, putting them out on fire. I'm like, what the fuck? Somehow he got my house number, was calling my house.
Oh, they'll do it. They'll be like
the dude that was humping the mop with the mop on his head.
That's what I'm talking about. He put a 360 in his lap.
That guy was mental. He was like really mentally ill. Like
what the fuck was his name? My God.
I don't know. I remember we were cracking up about it.
Yeah, that shit really happened. He put a fucking mop, not even a clean mop, a dirty one at that. The fucking 360 was having sex with it, and like, what the fuck?
Dude, people are weird.
On fire.
You know that if they get your number, that they'd be fucking.
I don't know how
they call you off the hook,
bro. I don't know what the fuck he did.
Well, dude, it's funny. You guys know Kevin Dent, right? He's the developer. Yeah. He's kind of pro Xbox or Microsoft or whatever. But early on, like I started following him because he was like tweeting out. He goes, so I get a phone call. They say, stop talking bad about Sony, I'm going to kill you, and then hang up. You know what I mean? Seriously, this is the kind of shit.
Honestly, I don't ever do that if you're an Xbox fan, but for some reason, the Sony community definitely has a fucking bunch of weirdos, man. Weird, 3 years going on, 3 years. Same fucking guys. They all get banned. They all fucking weird.
I saw that they all got banned now, huh?
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna make new accounts or whatever.
Yeah,
Do they ban their IP or they just ban their fucking?
They're
No,
like up to like 7. They're like
They need to
they
ban
keep
the
numbering
IP because there's that one dude who keeps you saw over the weekend.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
it
like
was
that.
even.
That was worse than Top Gunna, man. It might be Top Gunna for all I know.
No, don't start. He's in the comment section. There. Don't start that motherfucker.
I know. Hey, you guys want to know something really funny, right? Over the weekend, some dude kept messaging me about how PlayStation had all these great games and stuff, and I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. I was like, I had a PS3. There was some really good games on that. PS4 is a letdown. So finally, after arguing with this dude for about 15 minutes back and forth on Twitter, I check his account. The motherfucker works for PlayStation. Of course he's going to say PlayStation has games, right? At that point, I just blocked him because there's no fucking.
How you think he worked for PlayStation?
He says he showed his pictures are him being a PlayStation event dude.
Yeah. Well, they're insecure. This is the thing. That's why they'll try to fucking bully people who like Quantum Break. That's what they'll do. But at the end of the day, when it's real life, they're cowards. They're these guys.
Absolutely.
These guys will they'll walk the other way. They'll be like they're cowards. So, but that's what they do. They're anonymous. They hide behind anonymity, but it is what it is.
That's what I hate about the internet, man. The anonymous little pussies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's just they are.
If you find out those people, it's always those people when they get caught or whatever. They're always the ones in the fucking courtroom or whatever, crying their eyes out.
Yeah, they are.
Like a fucking baby.
They are.
I'm always fucking crying. I'm sorry.
All right, before we get the hell out of here, what are you guys playing tonight? What are you guys on?
TXR. That's what I'm doing.
No. Say what's up.
Oh yeah, you got back-to-back motherfucking podcast.
Hey, you done took some coke or something, Tim?
Tim's a
No.
Tonight.
Tim said no, not yet. No.
I got TXR has a big announcement tonight.
Yeah. My Gazio's coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do know that. I do know the actual.
He's coming on with a mop.
He's warming up the Winnebago right now.
I do know the announcement, but I'm not going to spoil it. So.
Oh, okay. Tell me off the air. Fuck
yeah,
it.
I'll tell you off the air.
But thank you guys for bringing by. We had about 350 people in. We appreciate it. We can see you guys next week on Mooch's Fire. What the fuck? Crossfire.
Right.
Xbox Nation. TXR.
That's Wednesday. Yeah, we're going to be talking probably about this same shit again. But wait.
Well, there'll be some news Wednesday.
Yeah. So, but we'll also probably have Rand. So we'll get his update about how he's really milking his gamer score, trying to making it last till E3 so he can get that million mark. So yeah.
Oh, cool. So, all right. Well, thank you. We catch you guys next week, man. And we out of here, man.
Come up.
Come on.